Welcome to Lost Without Japan, a travel podcast about the life-changing experiences of exploring Japan and those moments we would be lost without. For your listening pleasure, allow me to introduce your very own Kanko Guido, Michael.
Welcome to this week's episode of the award-winning podcast, Lost Without Japan, a podcast that's been running bi-weekly for 5 years, based on Japan and your Lost Without moments. This is your director of travel for TKIC Studio Productions, bringing you positive thoughts and excitement for your upcoming journey to Japan, as well as his own return in 2 summers. Today's episode is brought to you. Let me see if I can get this in here like it's supposed to be. Ooh, here we go, gentlemen.
Ooh.
That is Hokka Yamato. Very good. Corn soup, great chilled for these hot summers that we're experiencing right now. It's going to be something. I've upgraded, gentlemen, since the very beginning when you were my official first sponsor. One of these people is going to catch on, and I'll get paid at some point in time. But we have with us today, we have Justin, known as JT, and Brian Limber, known as The Fog Raw, the host of Kpop Kimchi. And I'd like to thank you for giving us a bit of our time today, and truly hope this podcast finds you in a great place or on the path to a better one, no matter how it may seem at this moment. If you're new to the podcast and joining us from the PodRanker article listing showing this is one of the best of Japan travel podcasts for 2026, or just coming from a really awesome, Kpop Kimchi, Discord, welcome you as well. But thank you for your time and for returning once again. Today's special celebratory interview episode is with the original sponsors of our show. Back when I started and was one of the show's inspirations for me beginning in the first place, I've been hounding them non-stop pretty much since the show started. And now they've graciously set aside time to join us today. Their show has been running since September of 2019 and has more than 330 episodes for your listening pleasure. I'd make sure to link their show in today's show notes. And you don't need to be into K-pop to enjoy hanging out with 2 best friends who could have talked for endlessly, days on end about K-pop alone, but also have plans for trips, Japan in the future. And they just had a wonderful episode speaking of the amazingness of La Quinta Inn and all of their different favorite hotel episodes, which, not really K-pop related, except for the trips that they made, but well worth your time as well. Gentlemen, JT and Fog, thank you for joining us today and celebrating 5 years of Lost Without Japan. How are you 2 doing?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good, Mike. Excited to finally be here.
It has been quite a
long.
It's not everybody gets those original show stickers or show the shirts and things like that back before it had the podcast on there. Still have rocking that in my classroom. It's just up in that corner. It's one of the few things that'll leave my room in
awesome.
8 more years when I move to Japan. It'll come with.
Absolutely. That's good to hear.
Retired us into the rafters.
Yeah.
Beautiful. A true showing of respect.
Yeah, we love that. Absolutely love that.
But no, gentlemen, before we get going too much into introducing yourselves, your socials, all that things, your show, what is your go-to Taco Bell order?
Well, that's a great question. We just downed some Taco Bell. If you're listening to this
10 minutes
Taco
ago.
Bell,
10
sponsor
minutes
Mike's
ago.
show.
Gosh, please.
That would be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
What did I even get? We usually go for like the value boxes because
Value.
when you break it down price-wise, you can't beat it, especially for $5 for one.
Get a drink too. It's insane.
Because, what is it? Like the drinks themselves are what? Like
$3-4.
$3.49, $3.50 for like a large?
Outrageous.
Crazy. Got to go to deluxe boxes or the special online offer boxes.
Yeah, I get the same thing. And we just kind of see whatever's like the trending box discovery at the time. So that's what we did today.
sometimes you can get a cool deal on like the new stuff for an extra like $2, which I mean, still what, $7? You can barely get anything to eat anymore anywhere for less than like $10. So
Here's a fun thing. Every time we go eat somewhere else that's not Taco Bell, we come home and we're like, do you know how much Taco Bell we could have got for what we
it's
spent somewhere
true.
else? Every
You can
time.
always compare everything to Taco Bell in terms of value to like fullness
It's the
wise.
best. It's the best.
We used to compare it to Steak and Shake, but Steak and Shake kind of
I haven't been there in a minute.
went downhill after
We don't want
COVID
your
happened.
sponsorships.
Steak and Shake,
That's right.
stay
Cut that
away.
part.
Unless you
Yeah,
really want to
cut that
sponsor, then
part out.
sponsor them. Don't
That's-
sponsor us.
Pay Mike.
That's right. It was lined up for being my next sponsor. Thank you, too. You know, I was like,
Sorry about that.
Ruined.
ruined now.
Well,
Ruined,
we
I
were
tell
thinking
you.
about it, but
That's funny.
But no, gentlemen, why don't you go ahead and give your socials? Let's see, professional. But, you know, go ahead and talk about your show for a bit. Give a little bit of an introduction of you two, and we can swing on from there.
I wish there's more exciting stuff to say, but I really don't even know what we're supposed to say.
We've done it a long time, and starting it, I don't really even remember how. It was just, we liked K-pop a lot, and at the time we didn't really have any kind of mutual K-pop friends or anything like that, and I don't really even know if we started for that reason. We're
I
kind of like,
remember
let's just
We
see
like
what
had
happens.
a plan
Yeah.
to do it for a while, but for other reasons it didn't happen. So we didn't start till like probably like, you know, 5,
We
6
pushed
months
it off,
after we
pushed it
really
off.
wanted to start.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we first started, I remember there's only like, this was like, you know, early 2019 we were thinking about. There's like 4 or 5 K-pop podcasts that existed back then. This is before the big, you know, boom of like 2020 COVID when no one had anything else to do. So there's like no one there. It's like, dude, there's like no podcast. You can go talk about it. People probably listen to it. Like, it's pretty cool. And then this was back when he worked for another company and his job was actually to like make videos, record sports events, like do like kind of like, you know, podcast or video
That's
type of
great.
stuff. So he's just like, dude, I can go get some cheap mics and we can just, you know, turn them on, make them hot, see what happens. If no one listens, no one listens.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, why not? I got nothing else to do.
There really wasn't any like expectation or even goals. The goal was just to do it and just get it done. And I remember he didn't live here at the time.
No, I lived up, Mike lived up.
Yeah, and so we did it like this.
Dedication.
Actually, this is how
Yeah.
we actually.
This is like how we did
This
it,
is
but
pretty
way
much how
more
we did-
primitive.
Yeah. We didn't do a video, but we did it through like a Skype recorder type thing, Zoom. I don't even remember, but that's how the podcast started. And
We
yeah,
do
we're
it
like,
really, really late at night
Let's
because I
just-
didn't sleep,
yeah,
and he got done with his job like really late. So he'd be like sitting out
it
in
would
his
be
car
really late then.
at like
yeah.
1 a.m, and we'd be like recording these podcasts.
And we did it every week too. We did it every single week.
Up until this
This
year,
year.
we did an episode every single week for what?
A long
Since
time.
2019.
Since 2019, we
Since
did
it
an
started.
episode every
Since
single
it
week.
started.
We kind of cut back on it. We do it every couple of weeks now.
Mm.
It's a lot of episodes. I'm not going to lie to you. It's still putting out a lot of episodes. So now we're just on your schedule. We're doing like bi-weekly, right?
Yeah, yep.
It's really the way to go. Let me tell you, that bi-weekly reduces so much stress for yourself.
It does. And you can like stretch out episodes longer. Like, oh, hey, this is going to take up like half a year now instead of, 4 weeks.
Right,
Then what are we
right,
going to do?
right.
But no, we kind of just got started because we were like, had no one really talk to you about it. I don't know. Just seemed
There
like
was
something fun to
literally
do.
no,
Had nothing else to do.
there was like no goals. There was no dream of anything. There was no like, if we don't have this at this time, it was like, let's just go, let's just start, and let's just see what happens. So
And honestly, we still kind of keep it that way because we made
Absolutely.
a pact at the very beginning for all you people listening out here, inspiring artists, to never charge anybody a single dollar or make any money off of the podcast because we never wanted to be one of those shows we had to paywall to listen to us or talk to us or something like special. Everybody gets the exact same thing.
yeah,
I mean, you've bought some stuff from us, like when we do like shirts or like merch and stuff. I kid you not, I lose money on all of those things because I pay for shipping to all of our faithful fans, and all they do is pay costs for the products. We have lost so much money doing this show, but it's been so much fun. We've loved it. We still have a bunch of people we've met, a lot of friends. It's not about the money, folks. It's about the enjoyment out of it. But yeah, we always said we weren't going to make any money off it. We weren't going to charge anybody anything for it because we always wanted everyone, because we knew how hard it was, to find people to talk to. So I'm like, why are we making it harder for other random people? Like maybe some random person in like another country found us and like, oh, this is really cool. I want to talk to him, but I don't want to pay like $5 a month to do it. No, just come talk to us. We'll talk to anybody. Like, you meet us in public at shows, we'll stand there all night and we'll talk to you, even if we have to go home and work the next morning. But That's how the show is. We keep it that way. Still have not made any money off it. People on all of our apps we, put on always ask us to get monetized. I'm like, absolutely not.
No,
I will
no,
have no money off this. So I work a job.
it's only gonna go negatively. As soon as you start monetizing something, to that extent, I like to poke fun at stuff. Where we keep on having our sponsors that's no sponsor. But one of my goals is hopefully in about 8 years when I move to Japan full time, and there'll be a spot for you two fine gentlemen to come visit Hiroshima and have some free lodging while you're there. But yeah, I'd love to promote some people. Now, unlike you, if I get some free food out of it, I'm down. I'm down. I'm not, I'm not going to turn it away. If someone wants to, pay for my first class, round trip airfare, also fine. I can be bought.
Valid.
Gentlemen, I can be bought. I just throwing
Nothing
that
wrong
out
with
right now.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody's
don't have-
watching this. I wanted to sponsor us. Go sponsor Mike. Give Mike some money.
Yeah.
I don't have that integrity of the Kpop Kimchi podcast. It's great though. It's great. But gentlemen, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're going to be recording for your show too.
Well,
Isn't this our show?
fun fact of the day,
I think this is the show.
we thought ahead and we actually recorded our episode for this week last week
Oh,
on our
we
off
did.
week
Yep.
because we knew we were doing this. So we can have all the time in the world to come hang out with you.
True.
Because I already got
your
everything ready
time.
for next.
Your
I already
time,
got
Mike.
everything ready for this week.
Yeah.
This is your party. We're just here to hang out, man.
Yeah, well, I'll share some audio and video. If you need to throw out more, you use this as well. That's all that matters. Like
We'll
more,
definitely put this up
more
for you.
shows, more shows, less work on your part. As I'm getting ready to go to start school again, we're getting back in beginning of August. My kids will be back. I'm trying to stockpile stuff, and I failed miserably. So thank you for helping me get something going.
There we go.
That's.
We're
I
trying
did
to
get
help.
I did get my daughter's passport today, though. That
nice.
went out. That went out. So we're gonna end up having 4 to, I don't know, like whatever it is, the 4 to 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever, to get it. But then we'll be that much closer for our trip to Japan. My daughter and I were looking to go summer 2028.
Okay.
That's awesome. That'll be
So
That'll be before you know it.
yeah, no, and then they'll be 20. And I'm not sure I like that, but that's cool. But it'd be an amazing trip that we get to go to. We have Taco Bell order. That's an important part of the show to head off with. Nothing says 5 years of podcasting like Nacho Bel Grande for me.
You can't really
with-
go wrong with anything.
No, with jalapenos, it's really. I was listening to a comedian that was basically like Taco Bell knows its customers so well that with everything going on with the lettuce outbreak, that they were able to completely remove lettuce from its menus, and that didn't impact anything. That's just
I
that
had any
goes to
idea.
show nobody's coming there,
Like
going there
magic.
to get their greens. It's like
It's like magic.
It's true.
I happen to know, some of the countries, gentlemen, that you've gone to. I know you've been to Canada a few different times, but any other countries that you have found your way out and about to go to?
I have not gone to any other. Well, I guess I was born in another country and then I came
There you
here as
go.
a kid. I don't know if that counts.
That counts. That totally counts.
That is indeed another country.
I know sometime in the future I'll be making a trip to Vietnam to go visit my family. Got to go say hi to, the mom and dad and sister and all. But outside of that, recently or anytime now, we just go to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We love it there. It's a nice place.
Got to go
I went to France when I was a kid. I went to Paris. I don't remember much because I was like a little kid. I think it was like family over there or something. But I think besides Canada, that's the only country I've been to.
when you have goals of aspiration of Japan one day. That's what else do you need? I mean, Korea, I guess too.
Yeah.
That's on the list of stuff. After my daughter and I do Japan together, then my next trip, I'm going to have to do like a Japan, places I haven't been to, and add on Korea since it's right there. My son, Sam, he did Korea because he was, right there, and he was smarter than his dad. And he's like, Dad, I'm going to go to Korea. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I just was so focused. I'm like, why? Why didn't I think of that? But it's great. But I have to say, gentlemen, not to go back too far, but that COVID time, that Kpop Kimchi chat in Discord, that was a lifesaver, man. That was a lifesaver. And I may not be in there as much as I am, but I still pop in, check on, see, what's going on. But that was a lifesaver going through everything. even like the concert prior to COVID, that last one that I went to, and it was
Everglow.
yeah, Everglow. That like that still holds a special
This guy
place
won
in
the
my
signed
heart.
Polaroid.
That's
You
right.
did.
I'm like,
You did.
I've still got that back behind me. You know,
For sure.
He's like, I won. And then we all stood up and cheered.
Yep.
Barely knew the guy at that time, and everyone was going crazy.
The
With-
chain reaction of like everything that happened from like knowing you before that to like that moment and meeting the people you kind of knew there to where it is now is actually pretty crazy to look at. Because like so many people in the chat we wouldn't have known or even a bit show.
yes.
So that was a pretty crazy how you kind of like look back and all the steps how that happened.
Well, I can't wait. Like I see, the Red Velvet is, going on, and man, I just want them to come back to Chicago. And my son,
Yeah.
that's like his top group that he wants to see is them. And I'm like, man, if they come back, there's no missing out on that concert. That's going to be
Yeah.
one that happens. So,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
that'll be my first in a hot minute. My last concert. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but my last concert that I went to was Shishimo, which took place in Japan and involved, I don't know, like 17 hours of train rides and 28 hours worth of flights to get to and from. But it was worth it. Let me tell you, gentlemen,
That's the important part.
Yeah.
I would have done it again in a heartbeat because I look back, they just disbanded, unfortunately, a little over 10 years. But you see their last concert and the stadium is just massive, huge, right? And all these people in it. And the show I got to catch was they did a small venue tour. And the small
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
they maxed out at like 80 or 100 people. And so
Whoa.
there
That's sick.
there I
That is
am
cool.
in a concert with this band that's just massive, right? Catching them in like it was amazing. Let me tell you, it was one of my,
Sounds awesome.
favorite concerts to go to. So awesome, so awesome. And we answered the starting your podcast. I'd say, how has your life changed? And we talked about some friends making and things like that. But how has your life changed since the start of your podcast till now?
Excellent question.
Like,
Where
how has
they
the
come for this?
podcast changed our life, or has our life changed in
don't
between?
Or
know.
all of the above. Whatever you want.
I mean, I will say, one big thing. Obviously, we made a lot of friends in the Discord, talked to a lot of people, but because of that, we met up with a lot of people, went to a lot of different shows in different states we probably would not have gone to on our own. Because we went to, what was it, that one year? He has a list on his phone, but one year we went to like 32 shows in 1 year. And a big part of it was like, I don't know if I want to go or not. Then one of our friends would go, hey, you guys want to meet up? Like, oh, sure, let's do it. We were just talking about on the episode you were talking about how Justin's like, we used to be awesome. We'd go do stuff all the time. And a big part of it is because our friends would hit us up. And
Oh
we'd go.
gosh, yeah, it was just like a realization that I was like, man, we used to drive places, do things, and be fun, and now we just don't.
I
And
think
then
it's
people we was like, oh, you want to go this? We're like, no, we're good. I don't even want to, but yeah, we did a lot there.
Yeah.
I really don't know how life has like changed, but the people we've met is the change. I'd say, like people we'd never would have known without the podcast, and just
I mean,
like we've like gone to Los Angeles with people. We've seen people. We have friends in Canada now. Like that's a pretty cool aspect. People from the East Coast, West
all over,
Coast,
honestly, all over the
South,
world.
Like,
Because you remember back in the early parts,
no
of the
one's
Discord,
around us. No one's around us.
we had
at
like
all.
one girl that was from like Austria in there.
Yep.
We had a bunch of
Yep.
people from Europe, and they're always like awake when we were asleep. Like it was crazy. It was a whole different, Wild West back then. It was
Man,
awesome.
the chat then was so fun.
Like
It was
obviously,
so fun.
COVID as a whole was terrible.
Not great.
But in
Not
terms
good.
of like the podcast and being in the chat, it was like the
Oh,
best thing
so
ever.
fun.
I think
It
about
was
it all the time.
huge.
I'm like, my gosh, it was so much fun back then.
Yeah.
But it was like, I mean, you could log in at any time you wanted and there'd be somebody to chat with. And that like was huge, man. That was huge. I'm sure to so many people. And just having the show itself, you don't even realize the amount of people that you have contact with. And I don't know about you, but I listen to other podcasts, I listen to other things, and it's like, man, you get to feel like you know somebody, even though you don't know them. You may not be in the Discord, you may not be, chatting with them, but having that relationship, it's huge. It's huge. And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you to, because not everyone that is listening right now may be don't know about the Korean pop music, the K-pop. I think that's less and less now. But if anyone was looking for that gateway drug, that entryway into K-pop, what would you recommend for someone that was starting off on that wonderful adventure?
You know, it honestly sounds kind of like, I wouldn't say cheesy, but kind of like, I don't
I
know.
think I know what you're gonna say.
Especially even after this whole last album that came out,
Mm.
honestly, just go listen to BTS.
Yeah, check out BTS.
Mike's obviously listened to our podcast for a long time.
Yep.
He knows us for a long time.
Yep.
We've never been like really big BTS fans. It's not because we didn't like them. It's just because when we got into it, it was not because of them.
Yes.
But I've talked to so many people who got into it because of them and then branched off, and they're no longer their favorite group, but they were gone for a while too. And they found other groups they really liked. But then this whole new album just came out, and honestly, it's like one of my favorite albums I've heard maybe ever in K-pop, right? And my wife like loves BTS. So I was listening to it, like the whole album, I've listened to it, I'm like 5, 6, 7 times, you know, like completely, like a week, like just on repeat. I mean, this was really good. So honestly, if someone's just like, I've never really liked K-pop, never got into it, like what should I listen to? I'd be like, literally go listen to the Ari Wrong album, just listen to the whole thing. It's got a little bit of something in there. And they're like, oh, because a lot of times you probably know, they'd be like, hey, this song's really cool. What's something that sounds like this?
Mm-hmm.
And you can branch off to some other crazy stuff that's like, you know, going nuts, whatever you want to show them. Or like girl groups, like, oh, those girl groups are really good. You know, those boy groups, whatever. But that's honestly a good starting point. I'd always be like, before that, I would have been like, nah, there's so many better groups to listen to. Like, they're super popular. That's why everybody listens to them. But honestly, just go listen to BTS. Like, they're a good entry for anybody.
You've come so far from those beginnings, episodes, things like that.
Just came back, and now we're recommending.
We,
wow.
yeah,
It's true though. Is it
This is
not?
our first episode, or yeah,
It's true though, right? Like,
yeah. No, I mean it's totally valid. I mean they're a group like everybody else, but I'd probably recommend Red Velvet. I'd do Red Velvet and twice, and maybe Blackpink too. Literally just like those main heavy hitting third gen girl groups. Because they're really good, and they're extremely popular with a ton of songs, ton of content, and they're a nice gap between like the older K-pop and then kind of like leading into the new years. I mean, that was a while ago, but where we are now. And I mean, they're like some of the biggest girl groups ever. So if you kind of want to listen to girl group music, I'd say just start with them, and then like you'll find your way from there.
also, don't listen to any of the girl groups I'd recommend because they're all like.
I was gonna
really
say
off
you
the
gotta
beat-
just listen to Blackpink,
off the
listen to
beat,
Twice.
off the beaten path, and they're disbanded. They don't even exist anymore.
Like
so.
you can find these people
It's the
later.
kiss of
on.
it's the kiss
Just
of
start
death,
off
you know.
with that.
It's true. It really is the kiss of death.
Like just
We joke about it all the time. Like, if it's a group that I really like, they're
it's
going to be
happened a
gone.
lot.
They're not going to be existent.
That's usually for me. That's like my, if I have a TV show that I stumble across a TV show, or I stumble across like a drama, some sort of ongoing drama. As soon as I get into it, it's over. It's over. So
Yeah.
we did some like entryway to K-pop. For you two, what would be your favorite? Some of your favorites. You don't have to list them all, but just your favorite K-pop music. Not necessarily that gateway entryway, but just for you personally, what does it for you?
I don't know. I feel like it's definitely changed over time, to be honest with you.
There's just so much.
Yeah, there's a ton.
There's just so much over all these years.
And you can actually, it's kind of crazy because there was talk about how there's generations, like different second gen, third gen.
Mm-hmm.
And there was argued about when it started, when it stopped, whatever,
Yeah.
But really, when you listen to like some of the older music, looking back on it, compared to like some of the newer stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you can definitely tell how certain groups influence the specific sound. That's like what everybody does now. And I would say that that's when generations separate. Because if you go back and listen to some older stuff, a lot of groups were like really inspired by like the sound that like Eyes One had at the time.
Mhm.
And even Justin will be like, hey, this song's really cool. Let's do it. Like, this is very Eyes One coded. Like, I could tell they must have worked with them or were inspired by them because there's a lot of songs that sound like that. Nowadays, a lot of people have that, like, one group that I really like now, that Illit sound to it. Like, the new Jeansy Illit sound is very inspired on a lot of groups. Even, like, the lower groups upcoming are like, the new good groups try to sound like it to be popular. Another kind of genre that was really popular for a while, I don't know if this is the answer to your question, was when Blackpink first came out. Remember, a lot of groups tried to have that Blackpink, like, girl crushy sound to them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically Secret Number tried to do that for a long time. A lot of times it didn't work out.
What
for
they
them.
did for a few years.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you guys can see my shares, if you want to go listen to my favorite group, you listen to Purple Kiss. I love Purple Kiss.
Yeah.
Purple Kiss is great. They're much different sounding than a lot of the other groups. I'd also recommend a group that had like a random one-off reunion concept, look like the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. Michael No, one of my favorite groups ever, CLC.
Yeah.
Go listen to them. They just had a concert thing I don't really understand. First off, I've seen the videos. Literally the best concert CLC's ever been given in their entire life and had nothing to do with the company.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like wild. I'm like,
There's a lot of people there.
they would have killed to have that stage set up when they were actually a group. Like, they would have been popular if that happened. Instead of playing, like next to the hot dog cart, busking on the streets.
Well, I was like,
of
did they ever
Korea.
even have a concert? I don't know.
I don't know if
Like,
they ever did. I think they might have had a couple that did it like universities and stuff. I don't think they had like a big just like specifically then concert.
thing.
It's a travesty. It's a travesty. That's come on.
Yeah, I don't remember what the question was, but did you have anything to add? I don't even know.
Any of your favorite K-pop music,
Like right now, I mean, ITZY is my favorite K-pop group, but I've really been into Baby Monster ever since Baby Monster
He does love Baby Monster.
had their little kind of evaluation show thing of their creation through YG, which is a few years ago, probably 2-3 years ago now. So ever since then, I've really been in love with Baby Monster, seen them a few times live. So that's probably like, they really are probably like my favorite, along with ITZY still up there.
We actually saw Baby Monster at the very first US show that they did.
United States show ever. We were there and
drove 16 hours to New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey, yes. Home of the Sopranos. Yeah, that's where we went. But that was super fun. That was a good trip. But yeah, right now I'd say probably Baby Monster. I don't know. We listen to just a lot of different people.
It's wild because there's so many groups that I've liked over time that, like I said, are not around anymore. So sometimes I even said it before, like when Purple, I'll be honest with you guys, when Purple gets left, I told Justin a long time ago, that's like the last group that I'm ever going to like love, because once they're gone, I'm done. Like I can't do it anymore. I've lost like 7-8 groups. Like it's like over. And I honestly thought once they're done, I'm like, dude, it's time to shut the podcast off, because they're the only ones keeping me tethered to this thing right now. I've got so much other stuff going on outside of this. But then somehow, some way, I don't know. Thanks, BTS. I found the light.
I found BTS.
I found BTS.
The little known, the little engine that could. BTS.
Yes, if it was not for Swim, if it was not for Swim, I would not be here right now.
Yeah. It's like that little known group, it's like, that's why.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm here.
I really like, currently groups I really like. I mean, we've always been fans like Inmix. We like Inmix. We follow them a lot.
Yeah, excellent.
I will say one group that I really like right now is like Illit. Everybody loves Illit, so I mean, that's not really saying too much. At Heart's really good. Yeah. Speaking on that, it's kind of funny because we always joke about if I would have picked a group that was like mainstream from a big company to like love, like how he has like Red Velvet, ITZY, like girls that have been around forever. My one choice that I probably got really close to was New Jeans. And ironically, if that would have happened, they like don't exist anymore, so that also would have just been gone too, so it didn't matter. It's like, what a sick, twisted turn of events.
Yeah.
Finally picked a big group from a big company, going to be popular forever, nothing's going to happen, gone. The universe is kind of coming back. But
yeah, I think it's been a few years, but they're doing something.
Yeah, Illit, love me some Illit. I'm really into Illit right now. It's
love
them.
Love it. It's like for me, I'd say I have my holding on to Somi still, even though last album not as great as others. Still waiting for her to headline Chicago. Not sure how we got twice back in the day. I think it was like that that my Instagram at the time where I kept on doing photos and stuff of them, and they're like, man, there's a spike of interest in Chicago, all from one person they didn't know. But whatever it takes to finally get them there, would love that. Love it. But man, I've been so into just different various bands from Japan. Like I said, with the Shishimo, but there's just same thing as, K-pop. Like there's so many different groups that come out, but man, it's a lot of the groups from Japan. They're popular in Japan, right? And they're, small concerts, small venues. And it's just so much fun having something that you're like, yeah, this is me. This are things. And that was my first disbanding was Shishimo, I'd say once, because Perfume some other, that's fun.
We're going to talk. I was going to bring them up later, actually.
All I gotta say is, Mike, think about this. Somi's still around doing stuff.
Yeah.
All my groups are not. If I would have stayed Somi from the very beginning, I'd still be doing okay.
She even, she was long enough to make IOI come back.
She literally was around 10 years. It could be an IOI. I cannot say that about anybody I liked.
Well, I don't mean to, get it out early or take one of your answers away, but any music from Japan that you two enjoy?
I made a little list.
I mean, I got a list too. I mean, Justin can go first. I feel like I've answered first every time, so you can go first.
You're good. Lead off hitter. So this just, I don't have many, but they're just ones that popped in my head instantly because I knew they were. And I'm not really like an anime watcher, but there was one as a kid I watched from the 90s called Gundam Wing, and it was on Toonami, and I absolutely loved it, and I watched it. I have the DVDs. I still have figure. I love it still to this day. And it was a group, I believe it's two girls, and they're called Two Mix. They made a lot of music for that, and it was so good. Like Just Communication, Rhythm Emotion, and White Reflection are just like beautiful songs that I still listen to, and they get me really excited. And I mean, I don't know if they were like a very popular group or duo at all, but I mean, they made songs for that anime, and it was really good. A couple other ones. Oh yeah, Perfume. I don't know how I found them. It was just random, and I don't really know much about them. I know they're a trio, right? And I was like, this is cool. And so I listened to them on Spotify, and it was good. And I looked them up, and I was like, these people are very popular. And I had no idea. And they were like, I don't know if they were in the Tokyo Dome or where, but it was like a big concert. And I had Flash is one of the songs. I remember it was on my playlist, Flash. And then there was another one too. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, they were cool. And I thought that was a really cool group name. I was like, Perfume, that really works. And I think I still follow them on Instagram. They seemed very popular.
When they came to Chicago, it was funny because I've seen them three different times when they came. And the first time they came, it was like, because you see videos, right, of them in the Tokyo Dome, and you see like these huge concerts, right? And they were in this small venue in Chicago. I forget what it was. If it was like the Double Door or whatever, But instead of having people to actually move the stage, when the lights are low, they're pushing stairs and various things and moving stuff. And that would never happen like in Japan, but it was like the coolest thing in the whole wide world. Like, I'm like, what's going on?
That's crazy. They're
it's fantastic. Fantastic. Dedication, man. Dedication.
Absolutely.
Show goes on.
Yeah, it really does.
Which is great.
But yeah, those were kind of mine. I just love all the anime or the Gundam Wing music. And then the one AKB48 song. We're good.
Yeah.
I Want You or whatever it's called.
That's a classic right there. So on the other hand, I was super into anime growing up all the time. So I will say I knew about anime, like, because I was telling Justin the other day, actually, bands and groups or soloists who get on doing anime openings or outros that take off, they're like made forever. Like that's
100%.
Like a gateway to like a golden life. Is like you can make anything after that, doesn't matter. But I grew up watching anime like my whole life. And the first one, I got a whole list of, because I actually listen to other Japanese songs. Justin knows this. I've listened to like crazy like Japanese metalcore bands for like ever, like the longest time. But one I'll shout out real fast, because I think it's very ironic given the circumstances here. I tell them about it all the time too. One of the most iconic songs I can remember growing up was an outro song to Inuyasha that I'd watch all the time by a very, very famous Korean artist who actually got famous in Japan first because she made this song, and that's Boa from SM Entertainment, I think a lot of people who in K-pop know about. And the song Every Heart is by far one of the most well-known anime OST songs ever made, and it's by a Korean K-pop artist who made it big in Japan before she made it big in Korea. Now she's like a legend in Korea at K-pop. I'm sure you know the song. You probably know it.
Outstanding.
Oh, it's beautiful. But yeah, I was really into K-pop growing up. So, I mean, there's like countless like openings and outro songs that I know that I probably could tell you about, but they're like one-offs, But some really popular groups that have done a bunch of them that I listen to is like, they're like legendary, like everybody knows about them. Like Flow, they're really popular. Of course, Asian Kung Fu Generation, they're really popular.
Fantastic.
I told Justin there's a really funny thing I saw one time. because a guy commented on a post, and then he's like, man, I just really wish I got a chance to see them. Like, I'm so sad they're disbanding. Like the classic K-pop thing, like, oh, I should have seen them when I had the chance. And the guy commented goes, dude, they were banned for 35 years. You should have seen them.
You had a chance, bub.
He's like, did you just discover them like a week ago? Like, they're still around. One that's maybe a more underrated group, but they had a very specific soundtrack to my favorite anime of all time for all the anime fans out there. It's called FLCL.
Yes.
It was like a 6-episode long anime, just absolutely off
Amazing.
the walls, going
Yep.
crazy. I loved it. When I was a kid, still my favorite anime to this day. And the group that made like the whole soundtrack for him was called the Pellos. And that's an amazing group. And when I used to go, well, I guess I say used to because we're not going this year, but when we would go to LA, I download albums to listen to in the plane. And one I always have downloaded, still downloaded on my phone, is their album. That's just the soundtrack to FLCL, and I listen to it on the plane. Another really kind of popular one for, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Death Note.
Yep.
Ironically, I was not a fan of the anime,
Music.
but I love Maximum the Hormone.
Yep.
I listen to them all the time, but I don't just listen to the songs. I also like the entire album, like all their albums. I've heard every single one of them. One of my favorite personal Japanese bands, I don't think he's ever been on an OST. I think I just randomly found him on it, like YouTube, like how you find anything. And that's Fact. Don't know if you guys know how hard it is to find information on a group named Fact. Very hard, especially back, like 15, 16 years ago. It's like impossible.
Yes.
I wasn't really able to do anything around that time because, I was like a kid. The one thing I wish, if I had a time machine I could go back in time for, was one of my other favorite groups. It's not a Japanese group, but they called it Set My Friends on Fire. When they were like at the height of their popularity, they like did a show in Bloomington, Illinois, and their opening band was Fact.
Oh, wow.
Flew all in from Japan to open on that tour.
That's awesome.
If I could go back in time, I would go back and I would see that in a heartbeat.
Be
I know I could like do more important things, but this seems like a way better idea. A more recent one, because they've had, I don't remember what the other anime is, but they had a really popular song at the opening for Dan to Dan, is Creepy Nuts. And their album that they had is like really, really good. They make really good music. It's kind of unique. It's different sounding. Another one that's kind of fun, it's got the like metalcore kind of screamo, like almost like Electric Callboy, kind of like the Japanese version of it is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. They're really good. I listen to them a lot. They also have a guy in their name. I forgot what his name was. It might actually just be Kenta, I think. He's like the guitar player. And every time they have like a show or anything, he wears like some crazy haircut. Like it was like wild all the time. It's like their version of, what's his name? The guy from like Limp Bizkit, the guitar player, Wes Borland. He's like their Wes Borland. He wasn't something crazy going on. Everyone's like normal. But they're really good. And what else I got on here? My favorite, by far my favorite Japanese group, Senkin Action. Love them. I have a whole playlist on my phone that I listen to, especially like when I'm driving at nighttime. Their music's just really good for like cruising, just driving, just chilling. It's got a nice like retro sound to it, but it's got like synthy stuff in it sometimes too. Super chill. I love them. One of their songs is actually one of my top 3 most listened to songs of all time. So I do listen to them quite a bit. But yeah, there's a lot of like random one-off songs that are, anime openings or closing songs that are really good. I'm trying to think if there's any other random ones.
Well, the Pellos, you can catch up on their most recent stuff. They continue to put out some amazing, albums and things. And look at, Shishimo, the preferential, but they just put out right before they ended. Each member ended up picking out songs that went on one of the CDs. So it was like their favorite songs over their time. And
that's cool.
That's kind of like a cool thing.
Idea.
Like, yeah, it's like, hey, what's yours? So they had that, and like each one you kind of listen through, but from beginning to end, that is 3 albums of wonderful, totally impartial in that way, shape, and form.
That's pretty sweet.
And I love it. And I know, gentlemen, when you are ready for that trip to Japan, I know I've said it numerous times, but I will very much love to help out in any planning or any assistance whatsoever to, help with anything having to do there. But one thing I'll say right now, if you haven't already and you happen to have an iPhone, don't know if you do or don't, but if you do have an iPhone, you can go on and add the pass already to it, and it's the Suica card, Suica. but you can add that in the transit to your phone here, and you can add money to it. And once you get there, you can use that to pay for your Shinkansen. You can use it to pay when you're at your Lawsons and your 7-Elevens. You can use it at some
That's actually
less.
pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so like, and right now the cool thing is like you spend like $13 and you get like the $20 equivalent in Japan. So you could start tossing,
Pretty good deal.
Definitely do that.
on that. Right now it caps at like 20,000 yen, which is $200 basically.
Okay. I was like,
I was just saying, I thought you said
We'll be
$20,000.
fine.
I'm like,
You're like, I'll be good.
which
like,
adds up though, but I don't know if we're gonna hit that.
But so you can get up to the 200, which is great. But then later this year, they're going to bump that up. But it's a nice thing because if it's on your phone, it's already gone. You can't pull that money back. And it's just there for your trip. It's there for you. And then when you go, because I went to visit Sam in November, like 2 Novembers ago now, or 1 November, whatever it is, 2 Novembers ago. But all that money that was on my phone was like Monopoly money. It wasn't real. We were out at eating and I'm like, sure, I've got this, because it's just on your phone. It doesn't mean anything, you're not actually touching it.
It was like me in Canada.
it's like a credit card, for real.
The currency exchange.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one. But yeah, anything I can do for you gentlemen, when you get to that point, you let me know. And when I'm living there, all guests of the show, but especially you two, will have that. And the only other recommendation I have, not that you asked, but when you go to Japan, I'm sure you'd do it anyways, but catch a concert. And in particular, in Tokyo, I can hook you up with some areas that are small venues, like areas to go to. But catching any show there is wonderful. Doesn't matter who it is, you're going to have a great time. But before, we kind of like, look to get, towards the end of our show, what are some things that you two fine gentlemen that have not been there would like to do when you go to Japan?
We're gonna go see a Smiley tour.
Yeah. We've actually watched
You know what
a lot
that
of
is?
videos.
Have you heard of that?
No.
Smiley?
She's like a YouTuber over there.
And she like
And
does
she gives
like
tours and
tours.
stuff like that. Because we've actually watched a lot of videos.
We
and
actually
we watched a lot of food videos too.
So fun fact for everybody who asked this question, we did send money to Miley during New Year's one year or Christmas. And she sent us exclusive autographed Polaroids back.
A real celebrity.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's like handmade. She like drew on all of them. She's like, oh, thank you, Brian. And thank you, Justin. She mailed them to us. It's crazy. Yeah, if you ever want to
for life.
Smiley tour,
For
it's
life.
like the most
That's
random thing ever. But I don't know how I found it.
Funny. Yeah.
And we
it's
watch
like
all
a
the time. She's just
YouTube
kind of
thing.
goofy. That would be fun. I don't know. There's just like a bunch of cool stuff over there. Just in general, honestly, much like even when I go to like Korea or Vietnam or anything, I'd love to just go and just walk around the streets because they also look so nice.
I want to walk around.
Just like
I don't know.
look at stuff.
I would like to find.
Seems kind of basic, but I mean,
I would like to.
it's a
find
different environment,
import-
different buildings. Like
all the freaking like Marvel and Godzilla import action figures that are so expensive here. I'd like to find those there for hopefully cheaper.
They are. And
Godzilla
the
stuff
conversion
is
rate
so
helps.
expensive here, but I'm like, there's no way if you go there, it can't be that much, right? And we have seen some videos from some like kind of like we don't really know who the artists are, but like idol shows, and they're kind of like you described as like small, but it looks so cool. Like the guys got the light,
they
the
got like
lights,
rabid fans.
and they have
Like-
like super coordinated cheering. Yes, that stuff. That looked really fun. That looked very fun.
No, I know from watching a bunch of random videos of like bands that, especially like Maximum the Hormone and all those guys, that like the concert scene there is like crazy. Like their fans they really love it. There's a lot of American groups that will go over there and have videos from like their tours and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and the fans are insane. Like they're like super hardcore fans. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother level of dedication when somebody's into something there. That's like their existence,
That's awesome.
It
That's
really
cool.
is. It really is. And the only other thing I say for you two fine gentlemen to add on is I assume, you'd be heading out to Kyoto, but a short hop, skip, and a jump away from Kyoto is Hiroshima, and that will be my home. But two fine gentlemen that I know there, one runs the 31 bar, and the other runs Hell's Chicken. Both are there.
What?
And and will take great care of you while you're there, my friends. And it is well worth, even if, like you said, you kind of wander, you kind of explore. That is my favorite place that I've been, just for as far as people and getting lost in. The river that kind of heads along the atomic bomb memorial and stuff like that. There's two of them, but you just can kind of get lost walking along that. And my one friend that I made, he ended up. Masato was like no, like different people that's there, and you're just like, hey, hot dogs in Japan. Like you stumble across a place you're going to go through, and this is going to be it. And Messiah was like, after I left and came back, I'm like, hey, do you remember me? And he's like, yeah, you're the American that came in and ate like 6 hot dogs, six of the spicy hot dogs. Yeah, I'm not going to forget you. It's not the unique, it's not a regular occurrence here if you didn't know. So, but two fine gentlemen for that, my friends. And I can't thank you both enough for setting aside time today. And we're going to do this again. We're going to put this in the books right now for 10-year celebration. We'll just do this again. Why not?
Yeah,
5 years,
absolutely.
do it for 10 years. And man, at that point in time, I'll be really counting down the time, because 3 years and counting at that point in time to be in Japan, man, that it'll be real. It'll be getting very real when it gets to that point in time. So around that time, I hope, this is my goal, for future me, is that around that time I can start spending summers in Japan and in Hiroshima. And my want is to be able to live in various areas in Hiroshima, get like an apartment and see what it's like in those, so that when I finally do move, I have an idea of where I want to be. My friend Rock, who runs Hell's Chicken, wants me to live in the same apartment complex as him, but I also know he's trying to get a babysitter. So,
It's gonna trick you.
Yeah, use your head on that one.
so not that I wouldn't, he'd be great though, because imagine being there and everything you have to deal with, you could go talk to someone else in your apartment building and have somebody help you out with stuff. That might be worth the babysitting duties to begin with. But you, gentlemen, do you have, besides keeping the show going on a bi-weekly basis, do you have any goals for the rest of 2026 or 2027 besides maybe giving up your lack of sponsorship if Taco Bell calls?
Yeah,
Taco Bell, we will accept you as a sponsor.
absolutely.
Sorry, I changed my mind. I will accept Taco Bell as a sponsor.
Absolutely.
Just give us like a $20 stipend, like once a week.
Yeah, like
we will
a
allow you to
taco.
sponsor us.
Give us
Like
a taco.
the little gold card that just has your name,
Yeah.
like Kpop Kimchi on. You go to any Taco Bell anywhere, and you're just like, here's my, give me my
one free
box.
drink a month.
Yeah.
Use this card. I'm like, I'm in. Let's do it.
That sounds good to me.
I don't know. I recently started a new job, so hopefully that keeps going good.
Yeah, we haven't really made any like goals or anything for the podcast. Honestly, I'd say one that I hope we can accomplish is since we recently started a TV show that created Ill at the Group, I hope we can finish that because we've watched episode 1 and it's just been downhill from there.
We attempted to watch episode 2 for like
technical problems.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I heard about that. No matter what you guys were trying to.
Honestly, if like a short-term goal, I hope we can get that done eventually.
Yeah,
it's
to finish
really
that
fun
up.
to watch.
Yeah, I don't even know what else there is to really do in 2026 for me.
No, but I remember like the produce series, just to throw it back, like when we were sitting there, reading that was just like that was an amazing times as well. Just again, throwing
That
back
was
to
early
a
on.
beautiful time, where it was like sitting there watching through and then having you guys discuss that. It was fabulous in
It
every
was
way,
really
shape,
fun, man. It was really, really fun.
I was like, when you look back on it, my gosh, there's been a lot of elimination shows that have happened since that.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, you gentlemen have been fabulous, wonderful, and amazing. Because I forgot to do so in the beginning, where can listeners of Lost Without Japan that want to know a little bit more about you two, your show, Kpop Kimchi, where can they end up finding you?
That's a great question. What is our handles on our stuff?
I think it's just K-pop Kimchi 101.
I think that's still what it is on everything.
Like everything. And I mean, you can look at YouTube. You can type it in on Google.
Honestly, if you type in K-pop
like
Kimchi,
Instagram,
and like Google, a ton of stuff will pop up.
Yeah. And I think it is like K-pop Kimchi 101.
I think that is what it is too, because we kind of changed everything to be like uniform at one point in time.
Include the show notes as well for you. Fine, since you came on, the least I can do for that stuff like that. We'll have it for you, gentlemen.
Yeah, if you want real entertainment though, go to our YouTube channel because that's where we put up a lot of
Yeah, we
stuff.
have like video content as well. That's like
We
not
don't
episodes.
we don't do as much views on the actual podcast side. The only reason I uploaded them on there is because a long time ago I had a bunch of people that would be like, "Why don't you put stuff on YouTube? I don't got Spotify. I don't got this." I'm like, "Okay, fine, I will."
Yeah.
So I upload them to there, so we get a few views on that. But we have a lot of like reaction videos. We have a lot of live concert videos. You have some random vlogs that we made.
Mhm.
Sometimes we'll just be inspired and be like, "Hey, we're gonna make a vlog. We're going on this big trip. It'll be cool." Then we make the vlog, and I'm like, "This turned out pretty good." Gets
Yeah.
like 10 views, so go
Yeah.
watch those.
There's
They're pretty
also
cool.
there's all sorts of stuff on there.
Yeah, there's YouTube. I think is the best place. And if you like comment on stuff, always come back to everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So I comment to everybody back. You can reach us on like different platforms, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really pay too much attention to them. So sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, hey, check it out. I got this notification from this people, and it's from like 8 weeks ago."
Mhm.
So
It's truth,
comment
though.
or yeah, YouTube's the best place to find us, if I'm being honest. Or come to Discord. Come join the Discord.
Yeah, come join the Discord.
We will talk to you in the Discord. Somebody will talk to you in the Discord.
Somebody will. Maybe not us. As Mike said, he might not be in there as much anymore. I was gonna say, hey, same for us. But there's always somebody in there still. Always somebody in there.
Hey,
We used to
you,
be in there
you
all the
built
time,
that
kinda
community, but you built
Yeah.
that community for others, and they're still living,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
the
had like
best
shepherd
life. You know
everybody
what I
in
mean?
for a little bit. And now it's like
Absolutely.
self-sufficient. It just kind of
Mhm.
does its own thing. So we don't have to be there as much.
That's it. That's it, my friends. But no, you guys are, like I said, fabulous, wonderful, amazing. Appreciate it so much for you hopping on, helping to celebrate 5 years. And like I said, we'll be back on again in 5 years' time. For 10 years, put it in the books. It's in ink. That just means I got to keep on going bi-weekly from here. But I can't, thank you two enough. Wonderful. If there's a green screen behind them when this video comes out, it's because I failed technically.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
They can put anything.
That's where we put our reaction video,
Yeah,
so it's got to
always
stay
up
up.
there.
It's that's one thing. Like I was saying, maybe when I hit 331 episodes, I will have a table too and a green screen, but not till then. Right now, I'm on two, whatever the TV tables and a lamp. So I've got goals and aspirations to go to one day.
Hey, it
So,
keeps the world moving, dude. Everyone's got to have those ambitions, you
Hey,
know?
I gotta say, Mike, too, real quick. Some of my favorite K-pop idols of all time have been from Japan. So
It's true. They
some
are.
of my absolute favorites that I love dearly and I still love dearly currently are from Japan. So that's a fun little tidbit there to add.
it makes me want another show. Basically, what makes me want another, K-pop,
Girls
huge.
Planet.
Oh
Me
yeah,
too.
like
Yeah.
they
Where they
need
had the
something.
Just Japanese group.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. It'd be amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. On behalf of Lost Without Japan and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you all for joining all three of us today. I was about to say both, but there's three today. I can count. We look forward to seeing you on board again for our next regularly scheduled episode as we continue our discussion on Japan, travel, culture, and your Lost Without moments. So to everyone out there, Oginki Day, stay well, my friends.